Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Sean, and I am here to tell you to hop on that Patreon page. We got ourselves exclusives that no one else in the world gets to check out. We really appreciate you guys. Head on over there, get us a bit of support, and now I will stop yapping, and we'll get on with the damn discussion. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, Sean Tank Top. We're over here in House Burlington. We're in the Burlington bar. You're with the House Burlington crew. I got Max, I got Morgan, I got Dustin, and we're talking about the birds, Harley Quinn. Oh, no, wait, we're talking about Birds of Prey.
Bop.
Even though we're talking about Bop.
Yeah, Bop. Okay, so if we call Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, if that's Biv's Dodge, then this would be, so it's Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of one Harley Quinn, so that's Bop.
Yeah,
Boppenheim.
right.
Boppenheim.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Bop It. Pretty good movie from what I thought. What did you think about it? I had a really. It's like the kind of. It's not really hitting a reset on like the kind of David Ayer Suicide Squad. No. It is a sequel to Suicide.
It's like a breakup that the movie kind of centers around. It's like nah, she's starting to leave already. You know, like, it's still in that Suicide Squad style, but it's
a little bit.
Her bags are packed. She's getting ready to.
She's
getting ready to move in with James Gunn. Yeah, and have a complete different style in a few years. But
interesting.
That's kind of the vibe I got. So it was like a fun little going away party for that saga we never got or wanted.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like, well, no, I would love a killer fucking. I mean, we probably in line to get at least a halfway decent one.
Sure.
The James Gunn one, but I was always down for it. Just not every single avenue that they decided to take in that movie. Like, you know, was not that great, except for like her and Big Willie style. Uh-huh. She was like definitely like the jewel in that movie. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And you're just like, I just want to watch her the whole time. So then they were like, here you go.
And this essentially was that thing. The movie's called Birds of Prey, but the Birds of Prey and the Birds of Prey are in the movie. They don't become a team until the end. But this is Harley's movie. This is the kind of like I'm stepping out story of Harley.
It was a fun little kind of almost Pulp Fiction like yarn about. Like, this whole Birds of Prey crew almost just comes together because Harley Quinn is just kind of farting around this world.
Yes.
And just all these things are a result of just kind of her presence.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
The Birds of Prey come together.
Totally.
Black Mask gets pissed off. He's fucking such a dick in this. He's such a weasel in this movie, and I really enjoyed him.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Obi-Wan was making it work.
Kenobi was.
He was a bold one in this one.
He was very bold.
First off, let's just kind of go down the line. We'll just say what we think. I mean, I think we all feel pretty good about it, but we'll start with you, Max. What'd you think?
Yeah. I wish we had like a little bit a bigger crowd. There was some. Like, group laughter is always funny because it's like you might want to laugh, but then nobody else laughed. But then there's some fun. This is a total stoner jam movie where occasionally, like, he's 3 seats down and he'll belt out at something. And then I kind of just find it funny because he found it funny.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, as we've seen with, like, crowd reactions, that kind of being, like, a thing that we're into, like, that can amplify... Like people,
it can make a bad movie more fun.
Yeah, totally.
And I wouldn't call it. This movie's not bad or lazy or any of that, and the action is really well. They brought in the John Wick director to kind of.
They brought in that crew,
kind of
quarterback
the fight scenes, and it really shows. Like when knees pop, they pop, and I'm like, that was fun. The physics of it are fun. That's something like that's one of those things DC can, I think, hold their head above Marvel and be like, hey, when we break something, we break it. Whether it's a skyscraper or somebody's knees. Like, we're DC. Totally. We're DC. We go for that shit.
More in the right way. I think DC would always be like, we want to be the darker, edgier one. Yeah. And this is a little bit more of what I would want. As opposed to like a Biv's Dodge where it's not, it's
too dark.
Appropriate, but it's also within character. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. What did you think about it, Morgan?
I loved it. Good action. It was funny. It was fun, and it was like really breezy and easy to watch. So I'm like, this is definitely. I'm like, this is a movie I could see myself like hangover movie where I'm just like, man, throw that on.
Yeah, while you're fucking cleaning the apartment or something.
Yeah, it's just like not
that,
too challenging. It's just fun colors and like really cool action sequences and.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I thought it'd been like it definitely kind of. Oh my god, like an hour and 45-minute blockbuster.
Yeah.
Perish the fucking thought.
Here for it.
I don't know where it was that they signed into the fucking Constitution where like every comic book movie has to be like 215, you know.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, cut this if it ends up not being true, but I thought I read that the budget was like 84.5 something million. I'm like, wow, this is a super like specific amount. They must have like pulled quarters out of the sofa, like when they. I'm like
every little bit of money. Yeah,
not that that's a cheap number, but it's a very specific. Like we don't need to cream our jeans on 200 million to tell a Harley Quinn deal. I had no concept going in that the movie was even rated R. I just kind of thought it was just like a PG. It was going to be another kind of like edgy PG-13 kind of thing.
That surprised me for sure because I remember I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool, like. Suicide Squad 2, but we kind of pared it down to like the best thing about that movie, and then I thought that it was going to be, I thought it was going to be PG-13.
She says fuck very early on, and I was like, oh, they used their one fuck. What are they going to do? And then
they're all out of fucks.
They're all out of fucks again.
Yeah, totally. I didn't realize that until like 2 weeks ago. The movie is very rated R. I mean, like the gag where the guy kind of starts to like come onto her with the hyena, and then you see. With Bruce, I think. With Bruce, who was cute. Cute. And then like Bruce is like gnawing on the guy's leg, and I was like, oh, it's like Harley Quinn does cocaine, kind of in this movie.
Yeah.
And like I was like,
least realistic part of the movie.
Yeah, that's true. but she does. Like she gets like a little bit of drugs in her, and then she kind of perks up, and that like makes her feel good. And like that was a very. Like
she club hops a lot in the beginning. You see her fucking taking pills off a tray.
Yeah, they kind of didn't.
Yeah.
They went for it. When they went for it, they went for it. Mm-hmm. And like it's like if you would have told me, we're gonna get a DC movie that, like previously like we had like action figures made for and shit like that, but like the main character's gonna kind of do cocaine. Like I was like, okay,
you know what I mean? Lots of drugs.
Yeah, it was definitely So that was I don't know. It's there were when they needed to go for it and when they went for it, I felt like it worked pretty well. About it.
I loved it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I have minor little quibbles because I mean like. Sure. There's certain characters I really love, like Huntress. I thought there were some things I wish would have happened, but I loved the movie. I thought Margot Robbie was excellent. Yeah. The fight scenes were visceral and crazy. Mm-hmm. Black Canary was super cool looking.
Ooh, yeah, Black Canary. That was something. Like, who are you? You're real pretty and you're really cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like
she
that
was like probably my second favorite behind her.
Yeah.
She was great. She was awesome.
Is she related to Jussie Smollett? She's I think her
Juicy Smollett.
Yeah, I thought that she is a Smollett. I don't know if she's a Smollett of the Smollets, but like her name is Smollett.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, man.
I don't know if she's related to Juicy. But,
interesting.
She's got a untarnish the family name. And
right.
She's doing it.
Absolutely.
She was great.
It was such a good Black Canary. Yeah, because I'm not that into Black Canary as a character. And then I'm like, actually, this is cool. Like, she doesn't use her powers very often.
She was the badass.
Well, probably she's like a wizard. It like takes a lot out of her. When she uses it.
Like Baby Yoda.
Yeah, like Baby Yoda. Yeah, like oh.
Well, because I watched the Justice League Unlimited cartoon and the Black Canary in that. Number one is like a white blonde lady, but also like she's using her screaming all over the place. Like she's screaming left and right.
You gotta have like to me, I do think like if it is like a natural ability that causes you to exert something, you should have to. It's like a video game. You need to kind of like power back up.
Yeah, I like the stories where she's like in a punk band and she's like hitting the road, and, like playing dive bars and getting into fights and shit.
That's cool.
That's
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The movie's good. I mean, like
they kind of do that where she's the club singer, but then like you're gonna be my driver because I saw you beat up some guys. You know,
I mean, that was a really good fight.
Gotham logic is very fun.
Hey, it's very comic booky Gotham logic.
That's to the movie's credit.
Yeah.
Maybe my favorite and least favorite depiction of Gotham because I like just total Grand Theft Auto rules. It's the kind of place where a guy could just throw a Molotov through your apartment window.
Real freewheeling.
Very freewheeling. And I'm like, this is the Gotham I've always wanted to see in a movie. But then at the same time, it just looks like L.A.
It's L.A.
It looks like L.A.
very
or like New York, like the tenement like flat where she like kind of walks past like a bunch of people with like a fire
also like
hydrant
outdoor drivey, run around the street stuff felt really like just like Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
But then they
The
go
taco
to
place
but then
felt very
they
Sunset
go to
Boulevard.
Amusement Mile. And it's very
Yeah.
clearly like a CGI background, and it looks awesome. It looks like Arkham City.
Yeah.
But then you're like, how does this fit in with LA Gotham?
It's a pretty solid movie. It's definitely like more what like Suicide Squad kind of should have been. Like like a funny, like kind of like pretty irreverent kind of, if we're gonna do this whole idea of like, we're quirky, we're quacky, like whatever it is. Like this is definitely a step in the right direction, but also kind of dare I say it, maintaining the integrity of some of the, because they don't get rid of all of that kind of weird hot topic like aesthetics of Suicide Squad,
right?
But it seems like they make it. They just
one person in particular. They
make it
very
work.
specifically get rid of.
That's true. It just kind of was just more in line of what we probably should have gotten with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
And it's just and like I said, just kind of easy to watch.
I'd be all for like a dark, broody Suicide Squad where she's like the Bill Murray of the gang, you know?
Yeah.
I'm known to be quite vexing. I'm just forewarning you.
Ladies, shut up!
It felt very kind of like 90s.
Yeah.
In a certain way.
And
like
I loved
a weird,
it.
It felt like Tank Girl.
Yes,
kind of.
it was very Tank Girl,
And
that's what I was really into.
That's another one where, because Margot Robbie produced this movie.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing, that kind of speaks to probably some of the better angles that I think they would take.
She at least had like freedom or control enough to be like, no, Harley's gonna do this.
Yeah,
like we're gonna frame her like this.
Yeah, we're not gonna
like that.
We're not gonna have a stupid scene in Suicide Squad where the camera's halfway up her ass.
Oh my
Right,
god,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she wants to produce a Tank Girl movie.
I'm here for
Which
it.
I mean,
I would go. I mean, if
1,000% be on board for.
Yeah, for sure.
I like that they portray Harley as like exactly how it would be if she was a real person. She's an asshole, and everybody
She's
hates
just a
her.
dick.
Like, she's just a dick. She just does whatever. And it's great how the movie takes that idea of like, well, yeah, we put up with it because we're afraid of the Joker, but then like it's like that whole like arc of her story is, well, no, I'm actually pretty capable on my own.
Yeah.
And
or her realizing that she's
like, I'm
realizing that she's
terrifying
not just in
too.
somebody's
Right.
shadow.
As soon as she gets tangled up with all the other characters, which is very early in the movie, it's effortless. Where like she's the most powerful one out of everyone. She's gliding through every moment. You know, you don't really feel threatened for her at all.
No,
not like
yeah,
you were
you're not
gonna.
scared
Not
for
you
her.
like you were
Yeah.
gonna.
No.
But
No more than you would feel threatened by almost anybody else in the comic book.
sure, exactly. But I wish there was a little more pathology behind the humor. That my only real complaint is the kind of lack of humor department, or at least the lack of joke department.
there wasn't very many jokes.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't very jokey or particularly clever. It was more like every scene is just like, and now Harley Quinn's in a grocery store. Isn't that wacky?
Or like
You know?
it's like leaning heavily on Margot Robbie's performance and like her line delivery, which is funny.
Which
it's funny. It's fun to
as
watch.
you should do, but
But
you
you
should also
think-
give her a couple of tools.
Yeah, just give her a couple zingers because it's like I'd watch her in a grocery store and like that in of itself is making me giggle, but it's like
You could make this
could like take
hilarious.
ratchet it up to 100 if you gave her.
Yeah.
To
There-
quote,
well, I mean, there-
quote the Superior animated show, you bake the frosting before you made the cake. Come back when you've made the cake.
Yeah.
Joker never loved me. He only loves Batman.
Oh, boo-hoo! Come talk to me at the St. Bernard on your face!
And also, if you don't know, we have a podcast. You should check out our Watch What's in the Bar podcast. And the next one that we are doing, we are going to be going through the Harley Quinn show on the DC.
Yeah, it's kind of
extended. What is it? An extended network.
DC Universe.
DC Universe.
DC Death by 1,000 Cuts. Fucking buy another app,
Another fucking app. But
Yeah.
that show is magnificent.
which
So
sucks
good.
because it actually has some stuff that's
It has
worth
some
watching.
stuff that's good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll be going through all that stuff. So definitely check out wherever you get your podcast, and you will go through all of that stuff. Check us out there. But like,
Haley Cuoco is my Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
she's
there you go.
my
Right.
all-time favorite Harley Quinn.
I never thought I would say that.
Harley.
It's me, dickhead.
Yeah, there were some parts where I'm like, it could have used like another punch up of like the final draft at the end confrontation with Black Mask when he was like, "You think you're gonna stop me? You're a moron.
You're a fucking
moron."
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's such like a
So good.
regular schmegular thing that you would just kind of that I would say to like somebody I'm like dealing with somebody like on IT or something.
Yeah.
It was not flowery at all. It's like, yeah, you think this is gonna work out? You're a fucking moron.
He was fantastic.
He was good.
Yeah, let's talk about that. How
if
do we
you-
like? Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
if you're a Batman fan, like two great villains to just dunk on all the time. If you need to write a Batman story where two villains are just getting fucking slipping on banana peels and stepping on rakes the whole time, you
Yeah.
get Victor Zsasz and Black Mask.
Yeah.
We get both of them in this movie.
Yeah.
And they're such fucking scumbags, and I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
I
really
Like
amazing.
them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went all in. They kind of.
There was one scene in particular where they like really made him super uncomfortable, like the scene where he thought he was getting laughed at in his own club, and he made this like club goer like dance on the table and was like it was rapey and weird.
Yeah.
It was about like I'm going to humiliate.
Yeah, but
Sure, yeah.
I could totally tell that this was like, because like that could have been a really gross the way the camera was shot. It could have been a lot grosser.
Yeah.
But the way that they like
Yeah.
kind of cut away,
They're going against like a kind of a sadist.
because
basically.
you're really
Yeah.
supposed to hate him.
Yeah.
But then he shows up in like the next scene with like,
He's so damn charming
with
that you would be
pajamas with his own face
Oh, man.
on them.
Every outfit in that so good.
And you get another, you got kind of like a Moulin Rouge shout out, because like there's like a Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend fantasy sequence.
I was totally thinking
that. I'm
yeah,
like, wait,
yeah.
and all of a sudden we were in Moulin Rouge. And, like,
Yeah.
not even in a bad way. I was like, kind of into
No.
it.
I think that was a cute enough thing. That was definitely
Scene was-
the filmmakers were kind of being like, we got Ewan McGregor in a movie, and like he's other than Obi-Wan, like and doing heroin, like the other thing that he's known for is singing and dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you play that card and have yourself a fun?
Have them sing and dance with a bunch of needles sticking out of them, twirling some lightsabers.
He plays all. Oh my god, that'd be a great cosplay. You're like all the Ewan McGregor.
Oh,
yeah.
All
You're
of them.
like a heroin addicted Jedi with the voice of an angel. That would be pretty fucking great,
You're basically General Grievous at that point. Plot is very unfocused until about the middle, and then you realize,
fair.
and then you're sitting there and you're like, wait, they really did all that on purpose?
Yeah. At first you think things are just happening,
Yeah.
and it's
you're
kind of
kind of
the timeline's all
mad,
weird.
but then you're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
But then you're also like,
Also,
I'm
wait.
like, fuck you, movie, but also,
Yeah.
all right, you got me.
Yeah.
And also like I do enjoy, and I think that we're kind of yanking it back a little bit, where like the stakes are so small in this movie, like insofar as
Yeah.
like. But when the smaller the stakes are, kind of the more personal you can make it to the characters that are within it. Like when it starts to be like end of the world shit.
Tell me how to destroy your armies. Do your worst, bitch.
I got a lot of Borderlands vibes. Like fucking Claptrap's just gonna come out and he's gonna have like an intro card. And, like,
Oh my god, there are intro cards all over this.
Yeah,
fucking
every
movie.
character gets
But
an intro card.
I liked them in this as opposed to
As opposed to Suicide Squad, where they're
Yeah.
just kind of
Pointless.
thrown wherever.
Yeah.
This one actually had like a structure.
this person is trying to kill me, and this is why.
This
This
is
is
why.
why.
And
Yeah.
it was always like a joke that they kind of was able. That was one kind of set of jokes and bits that I thought actually
Those worked.
played well.
We also found out Harley Quinn, Bernie bro.
Yeah.
She's a Bernie bro. That's true.
But she's-
I thought that was pretty cute.
Yeah.
Least
like-
shocking thing in the movie.
And that's what I'm trying to say to you all is that we have too much. The underground money is going to the top 1% of jokers.
People like the Joker, the goons and henchmen, are not going to unionize and ask for rights. People like the Joker, people like the Riddler.
We got to give it to all the Harley Quinns and the Birds of Prey.
Goddamn, I love him. He's my favorite.
Well, I want to be a favorite after I'm elected, but we'll see.
the Huntress.
Oh yeah, I like the.
Let's talk about some of the other characters.
Yeah, so
Oh, that's right. There's other characters.
There are.
there are. She's pretty minor. I like they made a joke out of. They're like, oh, it's the crossbow coach. She's like, oh, that's not.
That was
I'm like,
That's my favorite joke
I
in
think
the
they
movie.
did better.
Yeah.
They did better with like running gags than they did like on individual
jokes.
zingers,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
But
and I really like that. There's a moment when the Huntress finally shows up and makes herself known to Harley Quinn, and they've already pretty much like killed Zaz. She's like, all right, well, Zaz is dead, so
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
go.
Yeah, that was kind of
What?
You are so cool.
she was like a lone survivor from like a mob
mob
massacre,
hit, basically, a mob
and
massacre.
then trained with like an assassin family, and then exacted her revenge. But she's also like super fucking awkward and weird,
Yeah.
and like really kind
very
of like
Mary
shaky.
Elizabeth Winstead kind of.
Yeah.
She always kind of strikes me as like Kristen Stewart like levels of like awkward.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
I was into it because I don't want every badass lady to be all like, I'm cool, I
Yep.
always have a zinger, and I can kung fu your ass. No, I like some of them are just like
Yeah,
very
I like that. Yeah.
weird.
it was a good way to play it and make it work within the tone of the movie that they were kind of trying to build. Like even though she gets to have like she's kind of like she's sort of like the super serious Batman of the group.
She is the Batman.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like where she's just like,
sorta.
I'm really serious. I want to make
Yeah.
sure that
Like, my
I gotta-
voice
I'm
has to-
No, I know. Like when they went back and she was like practicing
Yeah,
her saying
do
her
you know
name.
who I
That was
am?
Yeah.
that was cute.
You want to have a bunch of people. You want to surround Harley with a bunch of people who got fucking issues.
Right.
Just fucking psychiatrists. You know, like that's the whole her whole shtick is like she gets in your head and like kind of. And she's also a huge dick.
Yeah.
When she like puts the screws to people, I find it way more enjoyable because.
Yeah, or like when she kind of boxed him in, and that is one thing we've talked about this on the podcast, which you should listen to.
Yeah.
No, but we've talked about this a lot, where it's just like this motherfucker is a doctor.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
a doctor.
Yep.
She is a psychiatrist.
And they use it in this movie.
Psychologically speaking, vengeance rarely brings the catharsis we hope for. Yeah.
Are we ready?
and it was way more of a presence. And
Well,
you
she kind of
know-
pops up and she's like, "Oh yeah, you totally got some results."
Yeah, right.
They're like totally just like blah blah blah. And
She,
like,
it, she
it's great.
uses it as one. It's a part of her arsenal to fuck with people.
Yep.
I want to see the writing in that department, both in Suicide Squad and this. I feel like they could do a little better.
Yeah.
In that
Yeah,
department
yeah.
where it's like instead, because a lot of it she's just regurgitating like textbook jargon words that
Yeah,
that,
right,
that
right.
people know.
Yeah,
Instead
sure.
of being like. This happened to you when you were 4 and you
Yeah.
never got over it.
Yeah.
You know, like directly going after
Yeah,
the person
right.
she's talking to.
Yeah.
And you're dumb enough to be building a case against him.
How do we feel about Montoya? Like, how did you think Rosie Perez has like? I feel like she was a little forgettable,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I mean,
That's why they
she's not
that's why they
forget-
gave her that great shirt so you'd remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You have that
shaved
great
I
my
shirt.
shaved my
balls
balls for this.
You think it's a one-off sight gag, and then she wears it for like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. It's true.
So it made sense to me because it's much like the DC cartoon does the same thing with Gordon, where it's like, yeah, if you worked at the Gotham PD, you would be an alcoholic wreck. Like your life would be a heckin' mess.
You got it. Well, you got it. Yeah, you got to deal with like petty crime, and you also have to deal with nut job, cartoonish. Like,
Gotta deal with Batman.
Super comic.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
like-
Occasionally, like, imagine like you're chasing a collar for like 2 fucking months, and then some
If
fucking-
Batman just gets him,
some
I'd be
rich
fucking
dickhead
furious.
just circumvents the law and takes
Yeah.
it. That's one thing that
And
we
you can't say shit because
Right.
Gordon's got his back. You're
Yeah.
the politics are
Totally.
just like,
and
yeah.
and Gotham, the police department has always been super corrupt. So like Montoya and Gordon were kind of like these beacons of like,
Yeah.
look, like fighting against the system and
Right.
like kind of being.
I feel like
these beacons of
they
hope
could
in a way.
have grabbed just one last time. They could have grabbed J.K. Simmons as a Gordon cameo because he was in Justice League.
He was Gordon in Justice
You know,
League.
just,
I wouldn't. I'm a J.K. Simmons anything.
anything. Yeah,
You can keep him.
He could have been Harley Quinn. I find
Yeah.
it.
Oh, hey, how you doing there, Puddin'? Like, Mr. J.
Or are you a dragger? Or are you gonna be on my fucking time?
You need to follow the proper time signature. I've been trying to teach you drums for 4 fucking months,
Yeah.
Mr. J.
Figure it out. The only thing I thought that was silly about Rosie Perez, like silly even by this movie's standards, are like when when the gang is all kicking ass and she's just out there throwing haymakers, and I'm like, what
Right.
are you doing, Rosie? Like,
Yeah.
No, I had like a little like.
these are all like mutant ninja people.
Remember,
And,
she's
Yeah, that's
also
true.
a little drunk.
And
so
you're
she
a drunk
thinks,
cop,
she thinks
yeah.
she can do it.
Yeah, she
Like,
literally.
if they played that up a little more and she was doing some like fucking
yeah, I
kind
can do
of
this,
drunk
yeah.
fight gags, but she was like, perfectly holding her own, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you're gonna have to sit down soon.
Maybe
It's
maybe could have that would have been a fun thing where maybe like she finds out like her superpower if she gets. It's like when you're shooting pool and you're just the right amount of wasted.
yeah.
You're just the right amount. Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden she's got like a spidey sense. She's got like intuition,
Bouncing
and
quarters and
exactly. Yeah, and she can fucking and she can take a little bit more of a beating because she's she's got that fucking
Got that liquid courage.
yeah, got that liquid
As
courage, got that
Alfred
liquid
pointed out,
painkiller.
yeah.
The thugs in this movie, I thought, were both like the most Gotham and least Gotham at the same time. Where like we
There's
have
a
like
lot of
these
that.
like very it was like much more talking about in like Gotham being portrayed as like LA all of a sudden with a bunch of like tattooed Latino biker gang dudes.
That's the David.
It's
Ayer.
the David Ayer
and
Suicide
then-
Squad.
Yeah, but then we also had like we're in like an abandoned carnival with carnies that are like wearing circus pants and no shirt,
Which is-
just it's straight up.
Great.
It's straight up.
I loved it.
Here was like that was pure Gotham. That was really a joy to see.
Yeah.
Founders
Yeah.
Pier was like
I didn't notice the Ferris wheel. It should have been.
I thought that was a little weird. But
I saw the big ass like roller coasters just in the river. Like,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was
That was
maybe
super
the
cool.
Joker
Also, like-
blew up the Ferris wheel.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Well, speaking of blowing up, I mean, like, I sort of, even though most of the time I am not about killing, like, especially in a comic book movie, you don't have to kill him every time to be, like, the main villain. But boy, do they ever do it in this movie.
They killed the
great.
shit out of Black Mask
I love it.
in a pretty satisfying, like almost Die Hard kind of way.
Yeah,
I was like,
totally, absolutely. Like, it would, yeah, I enjoyed that when the thing. And
if
also,
you can make me like heartily laugh when the villain dies, I feel like you did a pretty good job.
Yeah, that was like, you got to have like a really good gnarly, where it's just like, yes, they have this, they got the R rating, and like, they for the most part use it. There were some parts where I'm just like, I feel like this could have been, maybe they were waiting, like, we can pivot to a PG-13 if we want to. If we
If we had to switch at the last
yeah.
second,
just a little bit.
we could just hire those Suicide Squad editors.
What are you gonna do? You gonna kill me, Mr. J?
Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
And I do like that they did not show the Joker. Like I like
Yeah.
it. I like that they did
Because it
God.
allows you to just rinse your mind of what came before. It's great. There's a little cartoon animatic, and you're like, oh, this is like a little classic, fucking just Joker guy.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
little
No,
pur-
and like
little
every
purple suit, little
visage that we
tie,
see
like-
of him is very kind of like, very like 80s, 90s kind of era. Very slim,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
high cheekbone
Yeah.
kind of Joker. Not a damaged tattoo to be found, even though she
Not
still
a-
has that little, she's still got that
Oh,
little.
She's got hers. That's
That's fine, whatever.
You
That's at least to my worries.
I'm willing to, I feel like a fun bet would be to see if they're gone in James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I feel like it's a really easy line of dialogue where
You've told me about this.
where
This
you could
work.
just be like, oh, because I fell in Ace Chemicals, my fucking skin is fucking really weird. My skin doesn't retain tattoo ink. It just kind of fades over time. That's why we're just all mad about tattooing each other, because it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
going to go away
It's gonna
after
go
a
away
while.
in a minute.
I'm also stoked on any possibilities that this character has. Like, I think she's over the years it's like such a versatile character. I want like...
She's fucking bloomed into this really
At this
cool
point,
thing.
like, I kind of want them to like Hobbs and Shaw it with like her and Wonder Woman.
Oh my god,
With,
I love
like Margot Robbie and Gal Gadot, just
I
like
love
a
it.
fucking buddy cop movie, because
Yeah.
they could be each other's like Batman and Superman, where it's like you're a god and I'm like a crazy person from Gotham.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally what you could.
Or
yeah,
if we
let me-
finally get a good Poison Ivy, just to put them
That's
together.
the fucking thing.
We haven't had one. We haven't had a good
That
one.
is the thing. I mean, at that point for a movie, I feel like you also throw Catwoman in there, but that's weird because we're also getting another Catwoman already, and
Right.
Sure.
who knows if that's in line with what this world is, but
I think we got to kind of take it piecemeal. Ever since
Thank God
for
we got Crisis on Infinite Earth answered all the questions. It's all connected. It's just,
oh my god!
Yeah.
Do we want to see a sequel?
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to
down.
see I want to see Harley just bip bop around in movies.
Yeah.
And like,
oh yeah, she
you know,
can
like,
totally
like the way it's like this is Birds of Prey, this is Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I've said for years I want her to be a fucking member of the Justice League.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just bring her in there.
I kind of like her in the way of like how like they use Wolverine and like Wolverine can show up anywhere. Like Harley can fit into anything.
Right.
Like you can put her in
And-
any story
and she
any
would
scenario.
be like, and it's like we need something to maybe deflate like a certain amount of tension that we've been building, and like it's like, well, hold on, I know somebody who can hook us up on the other side of town or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
And then she pops in.
Put her in Green Lantern, you cowards.
Wait, Harley Quinn and Aquaman underwater?
Yeah.
She could totally dunk on Aquaman.
Absolutely.
The Dickens of
That
the
would-
Deep, like.
Oh my god, that'd be great. Yeah, that was another thing. Like what this movie does for the breakfast sandwich is
I
what,
want
like,
one right now.
It's right. It's like it's what it's like what Once Upon a Time in Hollywood did for like whiskey sours.
It's like
I just
what
want one.
Parasite
Yeah.
did for noodles.
Yeah,
He's
totally.
like, I need
yeah.
to go eat ramen.
I'm sad we're not
Yeah,
drinking margaritas right now.
I know. I also, we saw the movie and then we went across the street and got margaritas.
We did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's margarita.
I was like, I need a margarita.
Big Margarita is thrilled with this fucking flick right
Big
now.
margarita. The margarita lobby.
Big margarita lobby that's out there for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shit, man. I mean, I'm gonna say go check it out.
Oh,
you know?
fuck yeah.
I
Oh
think
my
it's a-
gosh.
I wanna
go
see it again.
I
Yeah, I
think
want
it's
to
a
see it
good. I
again
think
too.
it's a good time. It's definitely more in line with what I think you want out of this world and what you want out of the character. And it's. I don't think that it's perfect, but it obviously not. But it's a fucking step in the right direction.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Came a long way from where it started. Like, which is like both saying not a lot and a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, like, no, to walk, to still keep it within universe, but make me down.
like,
Still back in
but
it.
walk
Yeah.
out of this big embarrassing shadow.
I know. Well, I mean, I was so mad when I saw Suicide Squad, and I'm like, you had Margaret Robbie's Harley, and you ruined it. Like,
Yeah.
you put her in the shit show. But I'm glad that she made it out alive.
We were definitely like Planet of the Apes singing, like, it's like, you maniacs!
You made it!
Blow it up! You know what I mean? Like, yeah. You turned
And I like that she stuck with the character and saw the potential to really
Yeah.
like usher in and be a producer on
She
this
read the
new movie.
reviews. She was like, oh, everybody likes me.
Yeah.
Get with the program, you fucking
Yeah.
moron.
If Ryan Reynolds can,
I did my
if Ryan
job.
Reynolds can survive that like bladed, sewn mouth Deadpool, like
And Green
then I can
Lantern.
do
And
this.
Green Lantern.
And Green Lantern. And Green Lantern.
Yeah. People like the character, and she, at this point, just kind of like, we got at least one more good, decent, like, Harley Quinn movie coming. I imagine, I don't know, we might change
No, that's
that.
gonna be the Captain Boomerang sleeper hit.
He was the only one who was on that little wanted poster or whatever.
Yeah, that was
and
a
I
good
feel
one.
like, because I was
know
like,
that guy.
I think it's one of those things. It's the same thing. It's like when you get Jean-Claude Van Damme to like when he can act in French, he's actually can talk like a real person and can act. You know what I mean? If you ever seen JCVD.
Et je t'ai promis quelque chose en échange. Je l'ai pas encore délivré. Toi, t'as gagné. Moi, j'ai perdu.
It's the same thing with Jai Courtney. It's like you make way more sense. Like,
Yeah,
when
if
have
you
the
could
fucking
strip away all
Australian-
this like nonsensical like shit they had you do, like the pink unicorn for no reason. You know, like if you could strip away all that, you're like, oh, I could see you really nailing this.
Yeah, Academy Award winning Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
It won an Academy Award.
DC knows at this point all they need to do is throw one of their clown characters in, and then they'll get an Oscar nomination.
That's fucking true.
All they need to do at this point.
They need to they're gonna start just putting Joker's gonna be put in like everything. Joker's
Juggalo backyard wrestling.
Oh my God, I'd love to see
Joker's
it.
gonna fucking show
I'd
up
be
and
there.
he's gonna be in Wonder Woman 84. You know what I mean?
I want a short film of like this Harley like just making fun of Joaquin Joker, just dunking on him for like 25 minutes.
Oh man.
I mean, like we dunked on him for an hour and
this
look what the fuck
Harley-
happened to us.
I say we build a nice high white picket fence between those two properties.
Whatever. YouTube's gay.
Whoa.
Put on TikTok.
YouTube is gay. YouTube's straight. YouTube's pan. YouTube's it's everywhere in between.
It's all the things.
It's all those things.
All I want to know is it paying?
Hanging.
Oh.
That was the money. Give me my money. That was great. Keep
That's true. Oh my god. All right, you guys ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. Do a quick intro, and then we'll just kind of, we'll just get right into it.
Just do what this movie did. Just start.
Yeah.
Just
Start doing shit.
things are just happening, right?
Yeah. We'll figure it out somewhere along the middle.
Yeah, right.